Okay, wanted to get out today. I had the day off. You know, the temperature is almost up to 60 degrees. And I don't know how many more days this year. I think it's Tuesday, the 20th, I believe. And how many days I'm going to get out and ride. Going out of town next few days, so I know I won't get an opportunity to ride then. We're going up to the mountains going hunting, and hopefully I'll have a video to post from my hunting trip, because that kind of goes along with my channel as far as you know, ventures and activities over 50, you know. So, but I want to get out today and take a little ride. And I had lunch today with my grandson at his elementary school, and those kind of things are pretty special. That's one thing, as I've gotten older, over 50, you don't take those for granted, because time, I mean, if you miss it, you don't get to do it again. It's no redo. And so every opportunity that I can take with my grandkids, I do. I've got one grandson and I've got 5 granddaughters, so we do a lot of cheerleading, and but that's one of the passions, along with motorcycle riding, the grandkids and staying up with them. That's a great thing for me. But I want to get out here and take a ride. It's a sunshiny day out here in Beaverdam, Virginia. So I get the Road King out, and I put on a couple things here recently. I put on this cup holder, and I put on this music box that I can Bluetooth to my phone, and this charger. So I can charge my phone and this you know, little music box. Now I'm not so sure if I'm going to like the music box on there. Maybe so, maybe I will. It wasn't very expensive. I got it off the internet, but I'll try it, and maybe at times I might like having a little bit of music, but I can definitely see myself during other times. I just like to hear the engine run and the quietness of the bike. And I think that's one of the items that makes the Road King. You know, it didn't have all the fancy electronics and gadgets on it like some of the other models. I'm not taking, you know, if you want that, that's great. But I think it just kind of put the Road King in a class of its own. But we'll see. I don't have the radio turned on now. You know, I might do that sometime in the future. But that is one of the items. And I think I mentioned I changed the windshield. I can't remember if I mentioned that before, because I'm kind of a short driver, as you can tell in one of my previous videos. But all I can do to get my leg over the seat. You know, I don't mean it to be comical. It's just a fact. You know, I'm short, so we just have to deal with it. But the windshield, I reduced it from the stock size. I think the stock size may have been 20 inches, and I reduced it a couple inches. I went with the Clear Shield, I believe is the name of the manufacturer. And the windshield, I think, is supposed to come somewhere around between your mouth and your nose, and that fits my build perfect. And you know, some people say they like the taller windshield. Well, I'm going to say I like the windshield to come right there at my nose. You know, I've got a visor on right now. You know, if the rain was coming down, I can duck down like this if I need to. But this gives me a good field of view, you know, just above my windshield. And I think that's the way it's supposed to be. And it feels very comfortable to me. So that, you know, that's the big things that I've done to the bike. I did put a assist bar in the back and a luggage rack. And I'm thinking about putting the luggage container or the luggage storage on the back. I've been watching some YouTube videos and I can't remember the model at the moment, but it's not a Harley brand, but it looks pretty good. And you buy it, and it already comes your colored paint, which is huge. That way you don't have to take it to a painter and give them to paint it. And I think when it's all said and done, when you buy the rack on the top of it, I think I'm going to end up spending about $900, and that will go right up on top. And I believe that'll be a big use. You can put your helmets in it, two full face helmets, which at times that might be pretty useful. So I am thinking about that upgrade to the bike. But since I've had the bike, I've been really pleased with it. It rides smooth. The engine's nice. They are some aftermarket pipes on the back. And, I got a good throaty sound to it. I just don't think I could ask any more out of a bike. So that salesman that helped me pick the bike out down in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, he did me justice by steering me towards the Road King. So it was a good price. It's a good bike to get going again, and it's definitely. I think it was definitely the right pick for me for right now. I'm not saying I won't get later down the road an Ultra, a Road Glide, or a Street Glide. I'm not saying I won't get one of those, but right now, I think I'm really pretty happy with the Road King. Coming up on in a minute, the old town of Beaverdam. And I tell you, Beaverdam, I'll tell you a quick story. When I was younger, me and my two brother-in-laws, we were riding some motorcycles. It was the very first motorcycle I ever had, a Kawasaki KZ400. And we were riding up here, and his mother lived up here, and I lived kind of in the suburbs of the city. And I said, when I rode out here, I said, who in their right mind would live this far out in civilization? I mean, it's nothing here. It was absolutely nothing. It was a minimum 30 minutes to get to anywhere. And I thought everybody lived out here was absolutely crazy. And then I moved out here. That's kind of crazy. But, I came out here to the very far corner of West Hanover, right here in the town of Beaverdam, and I guess it's been 10 years now, and and there's been a little bit of build-up over that time, but I have to say, I like this little town. I mean, you come in, you got small little houses, it's you got a gas station, you got a few churches, daycare, you got some houses that need some work. But all that is part of the country, which is really part of me. It's what I really like. It's what my wife likes. I raised my family out here. For the most part, all four of my kids were raised out here, because I want them to have that country atmosphere to raise up in. And all three of them turned out great. My three sons, two out of three were in the Marine Corps. They served their country. All three of them work for the power company. They're doing really well. None of them have a college education. And that's another story for another day. I went back as an old man and got my college degree at 40 years old. But they've been very successful. Without it, just hard work and perseverance. And my daughter, she's a school teacher. She got her master's degree and doing very well. Married to a good country guy. Not that living in the city is nothing's wrong with it. Don't get me wrong. It's just me personally. That's what I prefer. And I'm glad all my